On that note, welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. And I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As always.
Again.
But we're still not each other. We've been working really hard at this for a long time now.
I know. It's not working. Like the body switch, I'm not sure.
I know.
How that's supposed to go. But, you know.
One of these days we'll figure it out.
Sooner or later. One day I'll introduce myself and be like, I am absolutely Chris. Wink, wink.
And I am also Chris.
It is only Chris.
No, nobody wants that. I don't want that. Please, no.
I want the blue eyes. I take it. I could be Chris.
My eyes could be bluer. I have a hit list of people I would kill to still steal their eyes.
Jensen Ackles.
Yes. There are some people that have that just a little bit more blue, like ocean. But
he's like green, though. Like,
they're also
Disney
like digitally
princess
touched
green.
up. So, you know what I mean? Like,
he's just a pretty man. Just appreciate that for a second.
Everybody take that in. Let's take a moment of silence.
Admire Jensen Ackles.
Oh, man. If only I weren't married.
Go kidnap him. Keep him in the basement.
If you say that online, if something happens to him, you're the first one they're coming after. They're going to be like, oh, it was said online.
I'm not quite that fangirl. It's okay.
Well,
I'm like lazy fangirl.
Also not that capable.
How dare you doubt me?
I doubt your body, not you.
Fair enough. Hurtful, but fair.
Yeah, I was not trying to be mean. I was just trying to be honest. I'm a monster.
You're not capable of kidnapping people either. Psh.
I feel like I could figure it out. I mean, if we think of like Shadow and Bone,
just
he's
like
got a bad leg and he still managed to pull off being a soldier. It was really damn impressive.
He's not a soldier. He's a con artist.
No, but he pulled off being a soldier.
Oh, well, yes. For a moment, yeah.
For a moment? Bitch, that was an entire banquet.
I know.
I don't think I could go that long without a cane. I watched that and I admired him.
In the book, you know how he broke his leg?
How?
So he has a break. He broke it falling off the bank of a roof. Bank?
Sorry.
Roof of a bank. I'm so sorry.
A bank of a roof.
Bank of a roof?
You're a bank of a roof.
It's like a gutter, only it's supposed to just collect stuff. It's a bank of the roof.
Right, the gutter. That's what you meant to say,
yeah,
clearly.
The gutter.
Anyone who misheard that and didn't interpret it correctly, it's on you.
I'm so sorry.
It's
I apologize for all of this. You just gestured to all of me.
Anyways, he pulls it off, and I was in that moment. I was like, "Yeah, you do it."
He's very Dr. House.
Dr. House is annoying though. He's always so mean about everything. Because he's in pain all the time. I'm in pain all the time too, bitch, and I can still be nice.
Fair, but I really like Raceland too.
Yeah, no.
And he's just a complete asshole all the time, and like everything sucks and my body is broken. But he's like my favorite character still.
Fair.
I think it's because I wish that I could have that attitude for a second. Like, if I could put away my stoicism.
So, what we're going to talk about today, hopefully, we can get to all of them in time. We want to go over coping skills, which is important for everybody.
Yes. Whether or not you have a chronic illness.
Right.
Just saying.
In life. Coping skills are needed. Then we wanted to get into fatigue and insomnia because that's pretty chronic.
Yes.
And then finish up talking about mobility aids. We should start by talking about mobility aids.
Yes.
So we can finish the topic since we started it and didn't end it.
True. So the last one we kind of talked about losing independence. No, so we were talking about how to know when to move over to mobility aids. We talked about braces a little bit. I personally do not like braces, but I know many zebras who find them extremely helpful.
Yes.
Though I have been told that braces can exacerbate the problem by teaching your muscles that they don't have to do their job. Not that I'm a doctor or know anything factually about that, but I found it more helpful to work with a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Than use braces.
What if you can't afford a personal trainer, but you can afford a brace? I mean,
exactly.
That's where I would be.
Yeah.
There's also my favorite that I can't use, which is KT tape.
I know.
I love taping myself up. but we break out in horrible rashes if we have like even Band-Aids on for
that, or it'll literally,
small
the
amount of
adhesive will pull off the
skin.
skin like a blister.
Yep.
It's really gross and ugly, and it's just uncomfortable.
It's
and then
not
you wind
fun.
up with like scarred patterns.
But it works so well.
It does. It's so good. So if you don't have super sensitive skin like we do, definitely give it a go, because it
Give it
was
a go.
great while it lasted.
Yeah, it was. Man, that was a great week.
I know.
It was like
The
2 weeks.
first time I discovered it, I was like, oh no, my skin. And then I kept going for a little while.
Right.
And then eventually there was just not enough like good skin for it to hold on to anymore.
I feel like we should explain it a little bit, because, you know, if no one knows, if somebody doesn't know what it is, you basically tape up your muscles to hold everything in place.
Yep.
On your skin. So you tape up like your shoulder in an X pattern to help keep everything in place so you move properly so that you don't dislocate.
Yep. So another mobility aid kind of along that same
Are you
vein
gonna say
is
the body braid?
body braid.
I knew
Yep.
it.
So body braid, while a little bit more expensive, I found really useful, especially when doing like certain movements. So sometimes I'll work out in it because it'll help me stay in alignment.
Mine's too small.
Oh no.
We got the largest one. It's too
Aw.
small for me. They have an extension that I could get.
Okay.
But I tried using it. The first time I tried using it was the day we moved in here.
That was just not a good idea.
That was a really bad. I'm going to help move the entire house by putting on a body braid for the first time, which is a bad idea. My body didn't know how to move in the body braid. And I was like, let's move all of the heavy furniture. It knocked me out. I ruined my body into the point where I could just lay down and watch people move in for me.
Yep.
It was wonderful. Great time.
Now my husband limits me ahead of time. He's like, you're not moving things. You are not. I'm leaving you somewhere where you can do no damage. Goodbye.
Jen just gets exasperated, like with the talking about with the room with Rin. She's just like, okay, if you want,
You're
go
going to
for
hurt
it.
yourself and I'm going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it. Because it's going to happen.
We're also extremely stubborn,
Yeah.
just in general. So our poor spouses have to take some extra care.
Yeah. But a body braid works like KT tape, but it's for your... Well, you can get like targeted ones, can't you?
Yes. So you can get ones that are just for like alignment while you're sitting.
Yeah.
Or you can just get the arm ones. We don't have the arm ones.
No, we have full body.
Yep.
And it's like KT tape, but it's an elastic band that goes around the body.
Yeah. And it follows the... I'm trying to remember what they call them. They're like the muscle bands.
Yeah.
So it follows the pattern of your natural musculature to help support that musculature.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So that one's really helpful. And then you have kind of your more standard mobility aids, such as the cane.
Yeah.
Or a crutch. I know people who use just a crutch.
Or the special crutches that you have.
Yeah, the forearm crutches.
Yeah.
Those are great. I love
tried
those
using that
things.
post-surgery and almost took myself out.
I did too. That's why I had to switch.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I didn't know where my leg was.
I think that's why we use normal crutches for that. Why we were like, oh, we're gonna be smart. We're gonna get special crutches. Did not work out.
No. Well, and I think with EDS we have really poor proprioception.
Yeah.
So we have a hard time like finding muscles to use in the beginning. Like, I don't know what I'm flexing right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then what? There's got to be something else in that range that I can't think of.
Walking sticks.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that one be
That's a good
helpful.
one. Walking sticks can be really handy.
That's, I think, where I would go.
Yeah.
If I get to that point where I like need something, I would go walking stick first.
I either need a
before
walker
cane.
or a cane.
Yeah. But you don't have the elbows. Whereas I can't hold something out at a
Exactly, you need
distance.
that.
Yeah. So when I use a cane, use it like house. And my husband yells at me all the time. I'm like, I can't use it out here. I don't have the leverage.
I use it like house too, though. I keep it on my hip.
Yeah.
And I use it to keep my leg from going out from under me.
Because we like stabilize our own selves. And I've learned that we do a pretty good job of it based on what PTs have told me in the past.
Yeah.
Like my when I double cross my legs, the PT's like, you're not hurting yourself and you're holding everything in. And that's what that is.
Yeah.
And you're fine to keep
That's
doing
really
it.
comfortable. I was doing that last night.
You just wrap your... I don't know. I'm going to see if I can show on the video.
She's going to demo.
Let's see.
We used to call it the position of pain.
Yeah.
Because we would curl up into that shape.
Yep.
If things were really painful.
So you like double cross and then tuck. And then other times I like hold my toes.
Yeah, that's something we get from Dad.
Yeah.
The toe grabbing. Because Roy can do it too. He's got the big gap. Did you just make a mess?
No. It was a nerve thing.
Did you hurt yourself?
No.
Yes.
No. It was a nerve thing. It was that, you
didn't
know,
hurt.
when it like, it tricks you and it makes you think it's wet?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what that felt like. But it was not. There was no moisture. I don't know what that was. It happens a lot. It's weird. And in different places where I'm like, was that wet? No, it's not wet. What the heck?
Yeah.
My body's like, you peed yourself. And I'm like, what? No, I didn't. Lies.
Yeah. Eventually, I think I'm going to end up with a wheelchair. I don't want one. I'm going to despise it.
It feels like defeat.
It does. I have the stair elevator, the stair lift, which I do end up using, but I hate
grudgingly.
The fucking thing.
Yeah.
I write it down and I think to myself, I'm going to burn this piece of shit. And then I thank it when I get to the bottom. I'm very courteous. I bow, thank you very much, and then move on with my day. It's just while I'm using it, I hate it.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, I think having a good selection is nice.
Yeah.
Because then you can change it up depending on the day.
Oh my God.
And then you don't have to like resign yourself to one thing or the other.
Yeah, which is why I have a cane, a walking stick, a walker, crutches.
Yep.
I don't have the wheelchair though.
Yeah, I don't know what that would look like.
They designed the house when we bought it for me.
Yeah,
for
with the
that
ramp. Which was hard. I remember like while they were building it and I was just being ridiculous about the whole thing.
Oh man, there's a stair lift and there's a ramp.
Yeah.
All these people that care about me. They made a bigger door for the bathroom down the main floor so that they can get a wheelchair in.
Yep. And you have this like gorgeous jacuzzi tub.
Well, it doesn't have jacuzzis.
Oh, that's true. It doesn't.
It needs the jets.
It's so nice though.
It's the super deep,
like so deep,
comfy
and
tub.
Lovely.
With like
whereas
armrests.
mine, I'm like I can submerge my knees or my chest.
Right. That was
Not
a consideration that I was very happy they went with.
Yeah.
So being able to fully submerge because there's not like a hot tub or anything.
Right.
So thank you, and thank you for the house, and thank you for the wheelchairs that I'm gonna have to get. I really don't want to give up that independence, but it's gonna happen.
Well, and let's talk about like the defeat aspect
Mm-hmm.
because it's not necessarily like. Because I know we talked a little bit about the stigma of disability, but it's not that. It is like losing the fight against your own flesh.
Yeah.
That's what that feels like. So resigning yourself to a mobility aid can feel like a surrender or like you've lost the war.
Yeah.
And I have a really hard time with that. Like I get really frustrated because it's war. It is war between self and body. But then there are days where you remember and you're like, okay, so we're not resigning ourselves, we're retreating to fight again tomorrow.
Right.
And tomorrow is a different day and a new day and things change.
Well, and the other half of it, you either don't want to use it because it's defeat. You either don't think you're having a bad enough day to use it. So you have that imposter syndrome. You're like, I don't
right.
need it. Or you have a day where you're like, thank God I have this thing.
Exactly. And it does. It just kind of, it rotates depending on where you are that day.
Yeah.
And where you are emotionally and mentally.
Yeah, true.
As well as physically.
Jeez.
So should we get into some fatigue stuff?
Fatigue. That was my
real
week.
quick though, I'm curious. What are your favorite mobility aids if you use them?
Oh yeah, and I want to know if there's anything else that we don't know about.
Right.
Like I didn't know about the bands until you introduced
Oh
me
yeah,
to
the
them.
Or braid.
Or there's the body suits that I want to try.
Yeah. Those
Like,
seem
that would be
interesting. I've also seen like hip braces
Yeah.
that I'm curious about. I don't need them right this moment because we just had those fixed. But I've been curious about that before. So, yeah, let us know. What's your favorite? What do you use?
What did we
What
miss?
selection do you have?
Selection, yeah. Show off your selection of wares. You could be just a little bit better than me because I only have 4. I don't
have any right now.
You have crutches.
I do. I don't use them.
No, but this is exactly what we're talking about. You have them on hand. I have them.
They're technically yours.
It's not like I go out with like a walker, a cane, crutches.
All at once.
I'm like, let's do this. It's time for battle. KT taped up and got my body braid on.
These joints ain't going nowhere.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. At that point, you're just bound up.
It's like all those people who are like, we're going to put you in plastic wrap.
Yeah.
So you can't move and hurt yourself. Oh, weighted blankets.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's another one. Yeah.
I don't like weighted blankets. They make me anxious.
See, I don't mind it. It's hard to get on sometimes when you got to pull it up and then something dislocates. But I also don't have like claustrophobia.
I don't have claustrophobia at all. Like, I used to love going into like caves and stuff, like really tight spaces.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me, but something about the weighted blanket just pushing down on me all the time bothered the crap out of me. Like, I tried them, but my mind was like, nope, not for me.
Yeah. See, and I like the deep pressure. So I'm like, give me that, like, just push.
Yeah.
That's good.
I know people that use them and like them. It's just that my body does not.
Mine gets too hot sometimes.
Oh my God. That's probably a lot of it. Yeah. I sleep under like a sheet because I'm always on fire.
Hot.
I'll be
really hot.
I generate heat. I am a solar machine.
And it can really affect our sleep. And that kind of, oh, hey, segue.
You did it. You found the segue.
Woohoo!
The first one in 8 episodes.
Abrupt change in subject. No.
Segues are hard. So fatigue. And insomnia.
Mm-hmm. And how they coexist.
Oh my God.
Which is interesting because you wouldn't think so.
I don't know.
Either you have one or you have the... Well...
I could,
I mean, like... fatigue and drowsiness are different, too.
Right, exactly. There's a difference between having all the energy and you drained out versus being tired.
Right.
Like a big difference.
Yeah.
Which I just had to fix recently, so...
And I can't yet bring myself to do that. Because I'm not willing to give up, like, my CBD combo.
That's fair.
I'm like, I can't do it. Not right now. Because that's the other way that I'm managing pain.
I'm going to write that down.
You
go on. You start on talking about fatigue. Like, you know all about it.
Oh, yes. What's interesting to me is that it's, like, diagnosable. So you have, like, chronic fatigue syndrome or you have ME.
Yeah.
And they're the same thing, by the way. But it kind of goes back to the spoons and being in constant spoon debt. And then just general, like, your body's tired from being injured all the time. You're in a constant state of re-healing and re-damaging. And so you have this kind of cycle of doom. And then throw in things like depression.
Oh, my God.
And then you've got this great cocktail for not being able to function.
I can imagine a lot of people don't ever think about fatigue. If you're having anxiety and depression anyways, you're just going to ignore it and think that it's all you and blame yourself.
Right.
And not realize that it's its own separate entity,
Yeah. Yeah, it took a long time to get there because for the longest time we were like, we're so lazy. And I can't figure out how to not be lazy.
My whole life, I thought I was just lazy.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I tried the whatever it is that I'm on now.
Concerta.
Yeah, Concert A. It should be so easy to remember.
Concert A.
Concert A. That I realized that I can actually function and do things.
Well, and I had Ritalin for a while.
But the wear off was what?
Yeah, the crash was really bad, and they thought it was making the spasms worse.
Oof.
And so we stopped it. And that's when I went back to the CBD combo. So yeah, I haven't been on that for a while. Like, I have a reserve that I keep for, like, I have stuff I have to get done today.
Yeah.
Or, like, I get up and I'm like, like, you have those days where you wake up and immediately you're just upset because you're awake.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, that was yesterday for me.
Yeah.
I didn't wake up. I couldn't sleep. But I was laying on the couch at like 6 a.m. It's like time to get up and do things. Yep. And I'm like, there's no energy. There's no way.
Yeah.
But I mean, that could have just been insomnia.
And then you have dreams about being tired.
I hate that. I have pain dreams too.
Yeah, that too.
Where I'm in pain that I'm not actually in.
Usually I'm like in pain if I'm having like,
I have
pain
those
dreams.
too, where like it seeps into the dream. But I also have dreams where if I take like my meds and I'm perfectly fine, I'll have dreams about being in pain and I don't have meds.
So like
I wake
anxiety
up stressed
brain.
up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess I'm fine. Why, brain? Why would you do this? We had an agreement. I would sleep and you would be happy. And it's like, no, you go to bed and that's my realm. Now you're in my land. Oh, hello.
You're in my neighborhood, beach.
It was wonderful. Now I have no idea where we were.
Pain dreams.
Pain dreams.
Pain dreams.
Yay, wonderful pain dreams.
Yep, or fatigue dreams.
Fatigue dreams are the
where
worst.
Where you like literally dream about being exhausted.
Yeah.
Well, and that's when they thought I was like suicidal, and I kept trying to explain that it wasn't like suicidality. It was that I was so incredibly tired that my brain would tell me like, if you die, you won't be tired anymore.
I mean, that sounds like suicidality, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. It was very much like, if I get hit by a bus, would I have to go to work today? If I step out into traffic, do you think I'd get a couple days off to rest?
Yeah, no, the fatigue is bad.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've only been dealing with recently, like not dealing with, but like addressing.
Yeah.
And it's making a difference so far.
Yeah.
I'm like 5 days in to the trial, really, because I tried some of my old meds a week ago.
Yeah.
And it helped.
And that's when you had that appointment with David set up.
And I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask him, and he's gonna say no, and he's gonna hate me.
And then he said yes, and I love you.
Yes, you are human. Be validated. Oh, thank you, David.
Kindness.
You are a good man.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fatigue is no joke.
I don't think I have any coping skills for fatigue. Like, I'm looking at the list and I know we're going to do coping skills. I can't think of any for fatigue.
Really, for
sleep.
Fatigue?
It doesn't help.
No.
Coffee.
Medication and coffee.
Caffeine. So caffeine or meth. Medical meth.
Medical.
Whatever they call it. Concerta,
it's the good meth.
Adderall, Ritalin, I don't know.
What did we say? The healthy meth last time?
Yeah, healthy. The healthy meth.
The healthy meth.
That's how we would sell it if we were a pharmacy. Come get your healthy meth.
I mean, they used to prescribe cigarettes for things. So
they used to prescribe meth for things.
True.
They still do.
Heroin.
They still do. I'm trying to think of something that wasn't. Because they used to sell like meth stuff is like put some pep in your step. That was like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
battle fatigue by never sleeping again.
Yeah. So I mean that's kind of a coping skill. Having the money to get coffee or a doctor that can help you.
Right.
Otherwise.
And I mean, conserving spoons and balancing that part.
Yeah, having a balanced life is.
Yeah, it can help. That I've never come across anything that completely does away with the fatigue.
Even the meds that I'm on doesn't get rid of all of it, but.
And I don't think we'll ever fully feel like normal. Being alive is a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And our bodies are just like, why are we doing this? We were not built for this.
Yeah. God.
Yeah. And then you throw in insomnia
on
top of it all.
I was looking at that. I used to have the worst insomnia.
God.
I would stay awake for 4 days at a time, sleep for one night maybe, and then stay up for another 4 days.
Yep.
And it was a combination of pain and exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was too tired to sleep.
Yeah. Well, because your brain is just wired at that point.
Yeah. And it got to the point where I was talking to some family friend, or I think someone in the family who was talking about their solution for sleeping was to take diphenhydramine or sleep pills.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that works. But we have that ability to build a tolerance to them really quickly.
Uh-huh. So diphenhydramine is supposed to just knock you out.
Right. It's an antihistamine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a very strong antihistamine that is supposed to
It's not that strong.
Well, it's supposed to render you unconscious because you can't be allergic if you're dead.
Right.
Because we've both tried this and we get 2 nights at max.
Yeah. If I go in fresh, I can get 2 nights. Like, going a couple weeks without. So it's like I got my emergency. But there was a 4-year period in the very beginning of my hunt where I would take sleep meds every night and over like 1,000 milligrams of ibuprofen for my shoulder, just so I could sleep. And I wouldn't always sleep.
Eventually I stopped, like I gave up on conventional painkillers.
Yeah.
Like I just stopped taking them because I was like, it hurts my stomach. Like I don't do well with it.
They told me to stop with the ibuprofen. It's really bad for you.
Yeah. Well,
like, really
oh my God,
bad.
my doctor told me to take 1,000 milligrams of each.
Oof.
Acetaminophen and ibuprofen.
Damn.
No, it was like 1,000 and then 800 of the other. I can't remember which order. And I never did it because I was like, it doesn't help, first of all. And second of all, it makes me feel sick.
It didn't help.
So why bother?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this if it doesn't do anything?
I tried, and at the same time I was taking glucosamine. So fish oils, which didn't help either. But, we thought it would work somehow.
Yeah.
But
flaxseed oil.
I was taking the fucking diphenhydramine for so long that I got to this really weird place where, like, it's almost like being dependent on it.
Yeah.
Where if I didn't take it, I didn't feel right. It was really bizarre. I was like, I looked up, if that's a thing, if your body can become addicted to diphenhydramine, and it's like some people think yes, some people say no.
Yeah.
But it was weird. It was like a physical dependence on sleep pills at night.
Weird.
Because I was taking it for so long, and I was upping the amounts because it was like 1's not working, 2's not working, 3's not working. So I would take 4 to 6.
Oh my God.
Every night to sleep, and I
the
wouldn't
most
sleep.
I ever did was 2.
No, I wanted to sleep.
And then I was like, it's not working. And then I gave up.
You don't understand. I wanted to sleep. And then, like, I would fall asleep, and then, Jen would be like, all right, now nobody disturb him. He's asleep.
Don't even look at him wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't bother him. Because we had roommates at the time. Or, like, I'd miss family functions because I'd be sleeping.
Yeah, finally.
Right.
After days of not.
I had to stop. I had to, like, literally, like, wean off of the fucking diphenhydramine and stop taking it completely.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was a weird time.
Yeah. Well, it's before we knew anything about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it took a lot of years to become as knowledgeable as we are, and we're still not caught up.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, no, I get that. It's crazy. Yeah, I tried diphenhydramine for a while, because that was when I was having those horrible allergy attacks that nothing would solve. So I would get this, like, awful MCAS reaction, and no amount of anything helped at all. And so eventually they just gave me diphenhydramine because they were like, you'll go to sleep.
It's nappy time.
And I got, I think, 2 days out of it that I could actually sleep. And then it stopped working.
Yeah.
And that's the really unfortunate part is when we find something that works, it doesn't work for very long.
No. That's true of everything.
Yeah. Well, and I've tried, like, other sleeping meds, but my biggest problem is my body either processes it all at once or not at all. And so I would be, unconscious and then awake 3 hours later and wide awake.
I had that a lot.
3 hours later.
Yeah.
Or I would be wide awake and then it would hit at a really inappropriate time and I wouldn't be able to get up the next morning.
Yeah. Yep.
Which was just miserable. So I stopped doing any of that before bed because it was just so frustrating to be like, finally I'm asleep and hey, there's my alarm.
All right, we're going to have to squeeze in coping skills.
Do we want to squeeze in coping skills or do you want to do
I'll make it fit.
a different episode?
Oh, no, it'll fit. It'll fit.
All right.
I can cut the jibber jabber.
Okay. All right, get to it.
I don't know if I did. So, you have EDS.
I'm sorry.
Deal with it. It's not at all helpful. I know. My favorite ones are the really common ones. It has everything to do with mindfulness.
Yep.
And bringing you to the moment.
Right. So I use a lot of grounding.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's mainly what it is that I do. Which is why I like the ice one, because the ice one is a great one, because it's fun to see how long you can hold on to a piece of ice without hurting yourself.
Right.
Like, I could do this forever. But you're focused on it. You're in the moment. Takes your mind off of the pain. So that's an easy peasy one that you can do, like on the fly. Mm-hmm. And then there's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Uh-huh. It's like 5 things you can see. 4
you can touch.
Yeah.
3 you can hear.
I mean, you could start with 5 things you can taste. You can taste anything.
Just lick everything.
Well, you don't. See, that's the trick. You don't actually do it. You just identify the things that you're experiencing at the moment. So
it looks like a marshmallow.
So don't do that. It looks like a peep. That's fair. But, things that in the room that you can identify and that you're experiencing.
We did a different one. So, again, I'm a teacher, but we've been teaching our kids different mindfulness techniques.
Nice.
And so our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 takes out the taste part of it because it's hard.
Saliva.
So
my tongue. Air.
In theory, I could taste that. But yeah, no. So we do 2 things you're grateful for and 1 thing you like about yourself.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, and it's reaffirming. That's good.
Right.
That helps the self-talk.
Yeah. Well, and I find that gratitude is huge in changing your mindset and like learning to be more mindful about things. And it helps you to kind of shift your focus
from being negative.
From being so internal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can kind of externalize your gaze instead of, because when you're in it, you're in it, right? In those really bad moments of pain, you're in it, and it's hard to see through like the forest through the trees, and we forget that like you've done this 100 times.
Yeah.
You know how to do it. You know you're gonna be okay, but it's hard because you're in it. Sorry, I forgot where I was going with that.
You had different ones for the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, and
you
so
got to it.
Gratitude grounding can be extremely helpful.
Oh yeah.
Where you're like, I'm grateful that I have a space in which I can fall apart. Even something as simple as that.
But
I'm grateful for warm water. And then finding something within yourself that you like.
Yeah, in all of the group sessions we did, we would always have to do that anyways. Like, what are you grateful for today? Like, I'm grateful that I don't have to be here for more than 30 minutes. I mean, it still counts.
Right.
I liked group therapy, but,
I've never done it.
It's really interesting.
I think it would be really interesting.
I think for us especially, just to be like, experience everyone and what they're going through and the different type of people, just people watching.
Right. Well, and we're just kind of curious that way anyway, because it took so long to figure out that we weren't normal.
Yeah.
So we're like, what are you normal people like?
I'm trying to think of some other coping skills that we've developed that I can't think of. Like,
we've gotten much better about reaching out too.
We've
huge. Gotten much better about communicating with like each other and with the people around us.
Yeah. Having that, what's the word? Support system.
Yeah. And
huge.
Utilizing the support system.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time, like, that guilt gets
I always
in
get
the way.
questioned on that. Like, did you talk to your sister? What? Did you? Did you really? Yeah. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I talk to her all the time.
Unfortunately for you.
Oh, it's horrible. That's why I keep doing it. It's just so annoying.
Keep coming back. It's a distraction to your physical pain.
Yeah.
Just the mental anguish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, after this, I'm going to have to kill myself. It's the only thing I got going. That's what I'm looking for. I'm grateful that I don't have to be here much longer.
This is your house.
Oh, man. I'm grateful for my couch.
Take a moment and hydrate, by the way.
We haven't hydrated in many episodes.
I know. Get mindful for a moment. Think
How are
about
you
where
doing?
you are.
Yeah. Are you feeling okay? Are you hungry? You're not hungry? Oh, you are?
When was the last time you ate?
You know better. You know better.
It's true.
Also, did you take your meds? Because I forgot to take mine. So.
Oh, no. My alarm went off and I never did. Oops.
You did it.
That's what I say to myself sometimes. I'm like, hey, stupid, you forgot your meds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my self-talk is more playful these days.
Yeah. We've gotten
Less
better.
abusive.
Are you back? Did you do the things you're supposed to do? Hydrate, food. Did you take a nap? Taking a nap is an option. You can pause this at any time.
That's true.
I mean, even if you're at work, maybe you can just sneak off and take a little nappy.
Just take a Japanese desk nap.
What she said. Do that.
Yeah, there you go.
Just look out for yourself.
Good luck.
Do you have any
everybody
more
else. Coping skills?
Well, I think we could go from coping skills into more mental health stuff.
Yeah.
So I think in the next one we'll talk more mental health and
right.
more
Kind
positive
of
self-talk.
shifting your thinking.
Yeah.
Could be a good one.
Because there will be coping skills in that.
Yeah.
That I can't.
Oh, tons.
I mean, that's your forte. That's where you're going to shine. I'm just going to sit here and go, yep, that's, wow. Oh boy.
I used to teach students' coping skills for a living.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot through teaching.
I learned a lot through therapy.
I didn't always have access to therapy, but I have an appointment in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I think.
Nice.
I'm getting back in there.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I'm going to get lectured, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Like, why'd you let this lapse? Why didn't you keep up on it? Why aren't you being nice to yourself? Why aren't you being mindful? What the fuck did we do all this time? We're starting over.
We're starting over. Yeah, we did EMDR.
I was about to say, redoing the EMDR,
God,
all of
no.
it. I still have
That's
to do
hard
EMDR.
work.
EMDR is short for? Do you know?
Eye movement.
Rapid gaze.
Is that what it is?
No,
have
there's
idea.
not even a G in it. EMDR. Oh, I can't remember.
Eye movement.
Drastically repeats.
Well, it's like
Dream a dream.
I have a phone right here. I could look it up.
Yeah, I want to know. It was a legit question.
We're gonna find out. Ready?
Because I have to do EMDR still. I know what it is.
If you decide to do EMDR,
don't do it.
no, do it. It's absolutely worth doing.
I don't
had
want
a fantastic
to. I am scared
experience because you don't have to do a whole lot of talk therapy.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's like internal, and so you're essentially what you're doing is you're rewiring your brain's natural pathways.
Yes.
I
I just don't want to relive those. I've rewired my brain to just block out the bad.
Right.
Which is the reason I need EMDR.
Yeah. So going looking for it can be really challenging because you're like, how do I find it?
Honestly, that's the part I don't want to do. I'm okay reliving it, honestly. I just don't want to have to fucking find it. Because I don't want to find things that I didn't want to remember.
It is eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing.
Right.
There we go. So
Nailed
yes, desensitization. So you give them like a number of how
intense
icky that feels.
Yeah.
And the goal is to decrease how icky it feels and then reprocess it in a healthier way.
I I use big words like icky.
Icky. It feels icky.
If you're feeling icky. All right. So we're going to call it there.
Alrighty.
For now.
Ta-ta.
Also, I have cat ears and no one said anything about it this whole time.
So rude. Come on, guys. Get it together.
Step your game up. Nya. Nya. Look at them go.
Just go like this.
They don't wobble, do they?
They do a little bit. Not as much as I was hoping.
No, it's because I have my headphones on.
Oh, that's true. There you go. That's what I wanted.
She needed that wobble.
Yep.
All right.
All right. We'll see you in the next one, hopefully.
Bye.
Bye.
Who knew he could talk? Who knew he could function as a human being? I didn't.
Right?
I made dinner last night.
Is it? What?
Yeah.
What did you make?
It wasn't fancy. I used the oven.
You used the oven.
I put frozen things in the oven for 13 whole minutes. But I wasn't that lame parent who's like, you're getting one thing. I was like, you guys are getting nuggies and you're going to get fucking pizza rolls.
I have pizza bagels at my house.
Fuck you, I love pizza bagels.
I found them and I was like, I need this now.